incredible guys right here. Thank you. Well, I do want to thank you for the weather, which is a little bit like home. Reminds me when when it's this cold, I think about, when I know it's not as cold as it gets, I know I'm talking to you now on what is basically a 60-degree day for you. There's people out there with bikinis. But when I first ever got a record contract, which was a very small record contract, very, very small, I decided I didn't want to spend it on anything too awesome, you know, because of my upbringing. I thought I should just keep it really like simple, and so I didn't want to spend it on like a Cadillac or what I probably would have gotten, which is like maybe a pair of salt shaker Cadillacs. I just wanted to make sure I didn't waste my money, and I spent it on something kind of bad. So I did. I spent it on this like little tiny house in my hometown. I decided I would buy the worst house in Moscow, Idaho, which, as it turns out, is really bad, you know, and worse than I even thought. You know, it was a romantic notion to buy the worst, and I would fix it up, you know, like Bob Vila, without ever thinking that my name isn't Bob Vila, and I'm not good at any of that stuff. You know, there's very few things I can actually do, you know, but that didn't dissuade me. I was a romantic, and I bought this house, which was also on the worst piece of land. And I know there's not really a real reason why I'm telling you this story, but I'm a little nervous, so I'll talk down. And so I bought this place, and it was beautiful, like from the outside, except for that there's no front door, and a lot of steam rising from the ground that wasn't next door. So you'd walk in the door, though, and there was this amazing sort of caved-in portion of the house where the raccoons lived during the winter months. And then if you moved under those, which was not likely, but if you could kind of squeeze under, you'd find yourself in the living room where there was just a washer and dryer, unplugged, you know, and kind of facing each other like cattle out of the wind. You know how they kind of face each other like that? And you could stop on the right on the road and you're looking at them and you wonder what they're talking about. They face each other. There was no reason for them to be in there. Into the kitchen, which was really nice, and was the reason I bought the place, because I was fooled into thinking that I would also make great food in there. But the best part of the house, and not to make this too long a story, was a very small doorway in the kitchen with a goat skull on it. Beautiful goat skull, a bunch of lettering around the outside that I couldn't understand. And then you would open it up, and all you could hear was just shrieking and a lot of wind, hot wind coming out, which is how I ended up heating the house, which is why I'm telling you this story. It was really nice in the wintertime. I pushed the washer and dryer down there one time just as an offering. Whoever lives down there. Maytag. But it's fun to sit on the edge just as the stairs kind of gave way to blackness and play songs. Not to sound like a hippie. If this was the Cold War, we could keep each other warm, I said on the first occasion that I met Marie. We were crawling through the hatch that was the missile silo door, and I don't think that she really thought that much of me. I never had to learn to love her like I learned to love the bomb. She just came along and started to ignore me.
But as we waited for the big one, I started singing her my songs. I think she started feeling something for me. We passed the time with crosswords that she thought to bring inside. What 5 letters spell apocalypse, she asked me. I won her over singing WWYI. Oh, she smiled and we both knew that she misjudged me. Oh, Marie, it was so easy to fall in love with you. It felt almost like a home of sorts or something. And you would keep the warhead missile silo good as new, and I'd watch you with my thumb above the button. And then one night you found me in my army issue cot, and you told me of your flash of inspiration. You said fusion was the broken heart that's lonely's only thought, and all night long you drove me wild with your equations. Oh, Marie, do you remember all the time we used to take? We'd make our love and then ransack the rations. And I think about your leaving now and the avalanche cascades. My eyes get washed away in chain reactions. Oh, Marie, if you would stay, then we could stick pins in the map of all the places where you thought that love would be found. But I would only need one pin to show where my love's at, in a top secret location 300 feet under the ground. Oh, we could hold each other close and stay up every night, looking up into the dark like it's the night sky. Pretend this giant missile is an old oak tree instead. We carve our name in hearts into the warhead. Oh, Marie, there's something tells me things just won't work out above, that our love would live a half-life on the surface. So at night while you are sleeping, I hold you closer just because. As our time grows short, I get a little nervous. So I think about the big one, WWII. Would we ever really care if the world had ended? And you could hold me here forever, like you're holding me tonight. I think about that